Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala nabiyyina wa habibina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. We start with the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, and all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. And we ask Allah to send peace and blessings upon our Prophet, our beloved Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Peace and blessings be upon him. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Barakallahu feekum, may Allah bless you all. Tonight's talk is titled, Does Society Need Religion? Does Society Need Religion? And the talk is delivered by Ustadh Firdous Wong. And I don't want to take too much of your time. I'll straight away pass the floor to Ustadh Firdous Wong. Barakallahu feekum, Ustadh. Thank you for joining us and taking some time out of your busy schedule.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, all praise due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Peace and blessings and salutations upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I would like to apologize to every one of you for the delay of this talk. Of course, there is no excuse for being late, but just to share with you guys some background, I have another program with Sri Kembangan. Alhamdulillah. I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Okay, I have another program in Sri Kembangan with Tan Sri Lee Kim Yu and Sheikh Husseini. And Dato' Sheikh Husseini, he sent his salam to every one of you. Okay, he knew that I informed him that I'm coming here today for another lectures after the program over there. And I'm being stopped there in the front because previously when I came here, it's not the case. We can just come in, right? I think that's the first time we have to register at the counter, right? And the security guard at the entrance. That's the first time for me. I don't know for you guys. Because I've been here like 3-4 times. I think back in 2015 as well. 2015, most of you are still not here. Okay, so it's cool. Alhamdulillah. Okay, guys, brothers and sisters in Islam and in humanity, Jazakumullah khairan for inviting me. And first and foremost, also, I would like to apologize again if because English is not my first language. Okay, normally I deliver my speech, my talk in Malaysia is in Bahasa. I know my first khutbah ever is in English in Melbourne. Okay, I never give any khutbah in Malaysia, but I only give khutbah overseas. So people say I only give khutbah in English. So whatever it is, let's start. I would like to move around, but the thing is, I don't want to disturb our cameraman because if not, then they have to keep on moving. So the topic that's given to me is, does society need religion? So anything, in any of my lectures, in any of my talk, I will always begin with the definition itself. What is the definition of the topic itself? Now, when we look into the definitions of society, society is a large group of interacting people in a defined territory, sharing a common culture. That's what society means. But when we talk about religion, the definitions of religions according to Cambridge Dictionary, the belief in and worship of a god or gods. Again, when we talk about definitions, you can agree and disagree, but we go to the definitions, then only we narrow it down, inshallah. Okay? Or any such system or belief and worship. But there is another way for us to understand what is religion. Religion can also be defined as a set of beliefs that are being manifest in a set of rituals and laws. So, to summarize the topic itself, it means that, okay, does society, a large group of interacting people, needs law, needs a belief, a worship? Now, I would like to throw these questions to you guys first. Does society need religion? Of course, majority of you guys are Muslim. So your answer will be definitely. Is it because it's too cold, so therefore you guys getting too comfy? It's very rare because every time I came here, for the past few times, whenever I have my sessions, I will be interacting with the crowd. And that is my style of giving lecture. I don't like just to be monotone, okay, where I'm the one who talk and you guys listen, and at the end of the day, I'm not sure either how responsive you are and how much you guys understand. So let's begin. Does society need religion?
Yes.
Yes, no, it's not very affirmative. Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay, since you guys have already given the answer, I think that's the end of my lecture. Right? Of course, that is not the purpose that you guys are inviting me. I think some of you came here with the purpose of knowing something. Some of you came here knowing that, okay, we need religion, but you need more explanation. Some of you might think that, oh, well, basically, we don't need any religion. Okay? Some might think yes and no. Religion can be only maybe the society that is lacking in terms of education or backward people. They might need religion, because I have encountered a few people as well through my da'wah experience, that some of them say that religion only for stupid people. Well, I don't take offense with what he say, because he is entitled to what he believes in. You see, I cannot force upon my belief upon them. Now, since you guys say that society needs religion, that also means that society needs law. Society needs laws. And of course, we know with all the research that we have today, that the majority of the populations of the world, how many people around the world today?
8 billion.
Sorry?
8 billion.
8 billion. MashaAllah. The last time, last 2 weeks ago, I gave a lecture, and the last research that I have is around 7.8 billion. Around that figure, 7.8 billion. And Muslim is around 1.8 to 2 billion. Okay? Now, let's do some math. Is it okay? Let's do some math. Muslims, there is around 1.8 billion. Let's take a conservative figure, 1.8 billion. Christians, they will say that they have around 2.2 billion. Hindu, there is around 1.1 billion. Buddhism, around 500 million. Okay, and then you go on to other sub-religions. Now, when you plus all those figures that I've just given to you guys, it adds up to how many? You guys didn't do the math then. So you guys just give me an empty promise. This gives us more reason that why society needs religion. So you will fulfill your promise. How many? 1.8, 2.2 is 4 billion, and then you have 1.5 billion, which is Hindu. So you're talking about 5.1 billion, right? 5.1 billion, then you have 500 million, that is 5.6 billion. Then add up with others, you have close to 7 billion. 7 billion out of 7.8. How many percent is that? You're talking about at least 90% of the entire populations of the world. They believe in a sort of religion. So in terms of irreligiosity, people who do not believe in religions are the minority. But again, we as a Muslim, because majority of us are Muslim, we need to justify and we need to explain, because the generations that we are dealing today and the issues that we are dealing today is about making sense. Making sense to people that why believing and following a religion. And for us as a Muslim, why believing in Islam is essential for any human being. Let me bring you a study. And this study, I just do it just now. Okay? There is a list of the safest countries in the world. Okay, there is a list of the safest country in the world, and they make a conclusion based on that study and statistic. They say that the safest country in the world has some commonalities. For example, the safest places usually have high levels of wealth, social welfare, and education. Additionally, the safest countries typically have effective criminal justice system. Other than that, they also have cultural around morality, law enforcement, and tolerance of crime. Do you know Japan was listed as one of the safest countries in the world? And they have zero tolerance towards alcohol. Zero tolerance. In Malaysia, since we are here in Malaysia, we say that don't drink and drive, right? But people still drink and drive, right? But in Japan, this come up in their research. In Japan, they have this concept of, it is, if you drink, I don't care if you are drunk or not, you have to call for a special taxi. And that special taxi will come with two drivers. That taxi will come with two drivers. One driver is the taxi driver, another driver is the driver that will drive your car back. So you will sit in the taxi and they will drive you back. Zero tolerance. There's also zero tolerance towards drugs abuse. Even any international celebrities who have been punished and found guilty of drugs possessions or abuse of drugs, they were not allowed to enter Japan at all. Zero tolerance. Zero tolerance towards this kind of crime. And that makes Japan one of the safest countries in the world. Now, they also say that measures for law enforcement, including the carrying and the use of guns and firearms, and the scale of punishment for levels of crime. Wait a moment. Why do I share all these things with you guys? Why? You guys are looking at me. Is it the way how when the lecturer is asking a question and you will still looking at your lecturer? Tell us. No, I don't like to give a boring lectures where I just present the fact. I can just read from here, no problem. And I won't be looking at you guys. I will just okay, that's it. But that's not the purpose. The purpose is to get your feedback as well. Because the most important thing is what I'm going to present. The most important thing is how you guys going to understand this and apply in your life and share with others. Because a lot of people, they say and they claim that they follow a religion. But end up, do they really follow religion or religion follow them? Now we are trying to make sense to people. Of course, it's easy to talk to a believing Muslim by saying, Allah said, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونِ. That's the end of the lectures. Dalil. But even a believing Muslim, I mean, you guys are young, right? No. I'm training you guys young. I'm no respect at all, subhanAllah. Or this university practically is like, I'm not allowed to praise, I'm not allowed to ask questions, I just give my lectures and I go home. Is that the way? No, right? Now, even for a believing Muslim, a young Muslim, sometimes you will have a certain questions that, why I need to follow a religion? Sometimes there is a struggle in you because we are not living alone in this world. For us as a Muslim, we believe there is other creation that is living along with us, even beside us now. Well, you just can't run. They follow you wherever you are since the day you were born. You just can't run. And the whispering is ongoing until the day we die. The whispering to create doubt and curiosity and confusions. There is a saying that says, if you cannot convince them, then confuse them. First, they make you confused. Then, they make you, get angry because you didn't get the answer that you want. Because I've been dealing with a lot of, I call them as not yet Muslim. I know some might not like it. Some not just Muslim. I also deal with Muslim. I will not say they have problem, but they have question. And some become a bit serious because they have good questions, But the problem is they might ask the wrong person and therefore they got the wrong answer. Or they might ask a wrong question expecting the right answer. Maybe later you guys would like to ask me, what do you mean by asking the wrong question wants a right answer? Okay, I will qualify later in the Q&A session, inshallah. Brothers and sisters, I'm sharing with you guys all these things about what do they have in common when it comes to the safest countries in the world. It's because if you were to realize, beside what they say, okay, they say that the safest place usually have high level of wealth and social welfare and education, okay, that make a country safer. But on top of that, additionally, there's other things that we take into consideration as well. And the things are, if you realize, most of it dealt with law. And normally, when someone comes to me and say, Brother Firdous, basically I don't need a religion. I can just be a good person. I will deal with these questions in my lecture itself. Okay, I don't need a religion. In fact, this world, we don't need religion. And then I turned around and I asked a different question. I said, don't put the word religion, because sometimes, you know what's the problem? The problem is, okay, can I get a water? Yeah. Sorry, I have to request. No request buttons like in the airplane. So when they ask me about religion, and I always like to change the terms in order for people to understand easier. For example, what do you mean by religion? Oh, religion is about belief, it's about set of ritual, it's about set of practice, it's about set of do and don'ts, right? That's what it means by religion, right? And you guys heard about the terms called that I'm spiritual but not religious. SBNR. You know SBNR? It's an acronym for spiritual but not religious, but also it's called being SBNA. Spiritual but not affiliated. Meaning I'm a spiritual person, but I don't affiliate myself with any religion. Now, take out the word religion, okay? Can we take out the word religion? Although the topic is about religion, can we take out the words of religion? But we replace with laws. Is it okay? We replace with laws. Now, we take out religion and we replace the word of religion with laws. Now, we modify the question. We ask, does society need laws? Yes, no?
Yes.
If anybody going to ask to tell you otherwise, saying that no, basically in this world, society do not need law. You know what's the problem? The problem is you become irrational. Name me a country that is no laws. Even there is no law, there is a law. Even there is no law, there is a law. The law of the land. Every country, they will have a law. Now, why there is the need of law? The need of law, yes, is to govern our life. But practically, I just share with you guys 4 simple points about why laws is important. Now again, for you guys, you can change with, okay, why religion is important, why laws is important, because practically, religion is about do and don'ts. Religion is about ethics. Religion is about moral. Of course, I will deal with the questions about, well, I can be moral without being religious. Have you guys heard about this term before?
Yes.
How is your answer? You heard about this?
Yes.
What is the answer being given by you? Well, I can be religious without being religious. Or you heard it before, but no answer at all. No answer? Subhanallah. So you guys are going to tell me, that's why we attend this lecture today. Yes? Okay, now brothers and sisters, why society needs law? I'm on this. Number 1, laws set the standard for acceptable and unacceptable behaviors. Okay? Laws set the standard for acceptable and unacceptable behaviors. I believe most of us, if not all, have heard someone or encountered someone who say that, we just have to be a person, right? Just be a good person. Sounds good? Yeah, it does. It sounds good. But the thing is that what is lacking in this sentence is not the word itself. It's the definitions of good. What do you mean by good? When someone tells me, I just need to be a good person, I say, well, I love to be a good person. I want to be a good person. And I want everyone to be a good person. But the problem is, the challenge is, what do you mean by good? Can anyone give me a definition of what is good? Sorry, I'm going to ask you guys a lot of questions. Please, lock the door. Don't allow them to go off. Can anyone explain to me what is good? No, raise your hand, brother. Yes.
When you're not harming someone.
When you're not harming someone, that is good.
Yes.
You sure? When I just asked, are you sure? You have doubt again. Sorry, I'm not taking over the role of the shaitan today, become the devil advocate. But that is how I would like us to think, because we are in a university, so therefore we need to be, and Islam requires us to be someone who use your intellect, not just blind followers. No. Okay, so brother, thank you so much. What is good? Yes.
Good at
You see, it seems like majority of you to know what is good. Huh? Subhanallah. Yes.
Good at anything that benefits other people or yourself.
Anything that benefits other people, even yourself, or yourself.
Both.
Must benefit both in order to be good.
Or.
Or.
Yeah.
So it is changing. Huh?
No. Or.
Or. Okay, so for example, if a drug addict, I give him a drug.
Say again?
If a drug addict, I give him a drug.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Good for him, right?
It's not good for
It's good. Because the definition of good is that it gives benefit to the person, right? Well, when you give drug to a drug addict who have a withdrawal syndrome, wow, is it a coffee? MashaAllah. Is it Americano?
Feels good for yourself.
Is it Americano? Cappuccino. You know, cappuccino also being called as cappuccino. You know cappuccino? Chinese coffee. That's why it's called as cappuccino. Chino is Chino. Chinese. No, I think most of you don't get the joke, right? Because in Malaysia, if a coffee shop, because it's kopi tiam. Tiam is in Hokkien, means shop. It's a coffee shop. So when you say cappuccino, we also can use it as a cappuccino. Chinese coffee. But it's okay. Jazakallah khair. I like Americano more. Allow me to have a drink first. While I'm having my drink, don't think that you guys are having your leisure time. Think what is good. Because I'm going to, if nobody's raising their hand, I will point to you, you have to answer. Okay? If not, you guys are going to buy me an Americano. So brother, we come back to the good. You know what? The method that I'm using right now is not new. I know some of you might not be used to this kind of lecture that where you would expect a chef to stand in front of you or sit in front of you and give a long lecture. But I'm sorry, I'm not the chef. No, I'm not. I'm not even the Ustadh. I'm pro. You're pro. You're pro. Yes. And these are the methods that are being used by our beloved Prophet Muhammad SAW. Please go on him. That he will ask questions to a companion. Although he knows the answer, he can tell them immediately the answer, but he will prefer the question and answer method as part of his teaching method because this will get more attention and more understanding compared to you just tell them. Of course, I'm teaching communication and I'm one of the advisor for communications and dawah course degree in one of the universities in Malaysia. So this is a method that generally how our Prophet used. So brother, come back to you.
Yeah.
Good. You say good is something that benefits others or you.
Yeah.
But this time, you are a drug pusher.
Yeah.
You sell the drugs to someone.
Yes.
That person get the benefit. This time it's not all. Both of you get benefit because he get what he wants in the form of drugs and you get what you want in the forms of money. So is it good?
It's not good for the other person because it's not good for him. Again, you have to draw your morality or your goodness from a source.
But who gonna define that?
Exactly. So
Exactly.
yeah, you need religion for that.
Anybody? Good? Or you guys don't want to become the guinea pig? Yes, brother. But then, someone that follows the law. So that is a good person. Someone that follows the law. Okay, good. It sounds good. I like bombastic word. But the problem again, no. You know, brother and sister, this is what in communication we call as the iceberg statement. Okay? Anyone of you study communications here? Before I shoot myself on my foot? You study communications, good. You know, there's iceberg statement. Iceberg statement is you give a statement, a general statement that sounds good. Like for example, have you heard a lot of politicians say, we need to change, right? Good? Is change good? The problem is not about the word change, but the problem is the definitions of what you're going to change, from what to what. That is something that we generally don't ask. We say change, yes, change. Okay, we change. So change to what? From good to worse. From bad to worse. No. You must define when you say follow the laws. Good. Now, who set the laws? Who set the laws? This is what I say, that one of the reasons that the society needs laws or religion, as we say, is because laws will be the one who will define what is acceptable or unacceptable behavior. Because what is good for you might not be good for me. And of course, in the context of Islam, we can say that, well, because Allah, the Creator, Al-Khaliq, He is not only the Creator. I think yesterday Sheikh Abu Ustadh, he talked about one God or many gods. I didn't watch the content of the video, so there might be something similar to it. Because Allah is not only Al-Khaliq, the Creator, but Allah is also Al-Alim, the all-knowing. He is also the Al-Hakim, the all-wise. He knows what is good and what is bad. To define what is good, sometimes you think, well, this is good. No. To define what is good and what is bad, you need laws to define it. In order to have law, you need a lawmakers. So far? Follow? In order to have a law, you need a lawmaker. That's why even our parliamentarians, they are being called as the lawmakers. But unfortunately, sometimes the lawmakers are the ones who break the law. But I do miss my word. The lawmakers are supposed to protect the law and upheld the law, but sometimes they are the ones who go against the law, and since they have gone against the law, they want to change the law that they just broke. Yeah. No. Brothers and sisters, religion, society needs religion, needs law, because laws will be the one who will define what is acceptable and not acceptable. Okay? Number two, laws provide access to justice. Without laws, there is no justice. And sometimes even with laws, justice might not be there as well. And that's why, brothers and sisters, if you were to realize, when you go into comparative religion, I'm not a scholar of comparative religion, please. Okay, I'm not. I'm not a scholar of comparative religion. But when you look into religion, most of the religion, they have this concept of afterlife. You see? Why there is a concept of afterlife? Because that is what human innate nature wants it to be. Because everyone, every human being, they want justice. They want justice. When there is no law, there is no access to justice itself. And religion provides the answer that human beings are looking for. You just imagine, brothers and sisters, one of the articles of faith in Islam is to believe in what? To believe in what? To believe in what? Nobody else saying. I'm talking about justice and you're talking about one God. Yes, true. One of the articles of faith out of the 6. Articles of faith number 5. Yaumul Qiyamah. to believe about the day of judgment, right? Why? Why this belief is important? Because it's going to talk about that every creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator, they will have access to the ultimate justice. When no one will be wrong. And Allah has made it haram upon himself to do zulm, to oppress anyone, to be unjust to anyone. Inna Allah, Allah says that verily Allah is not unjust even in the least degree. So brothers and sisters, access to justice. Number 3, why does society need laws? Laws keep majority safe. Laws keep majority safe. I don't like the word where somebody used, laws keep everyone safe. Not necessary. Because laws is always there to protect the majority from any harm. Some people might say, well, in Malaysia, why there is no need for you to have a speed limit of 110? Because I believe in my driving skill. I've been driving 160 km per hour, and for the past 10, 15, 20 years, I have no problem. I never met even an accident. So it should be fine. Well, yes, you might be a good driver. But did everyone on the same level with you? Yes, no? No. Just because you think you can, so therefore, the laws of the land should be changed to suit you? No, it doesn't happen that way. Because it is to protect the majority of the people. So laws keep majority safe from harm. And number 4 is that laws are important to maintain peace. Laws are important to maintain peace. Brothers and sisters, just now, number 1, we talk about laws set the standard for acceptable and unacceptable behavior. Now, this is correlated with number 1, which is the laws, okay, is to maintain peace. Just imagine, without laws, what will happen? I give some example to some people who don't believe in God or don't follow any particular religion. You know what is interesting? So far, the rational one, I'm talking about the rational one. When I ask them, okay, when they told me that, I don't follow any particular religion, I don't think there's a need for religion. So I asked them, if I were to give you a free ticket, a first class ticket, or maybe a private jet, okay, I give you 2 options. To go to a country, to go to a place, okay, I have that private jet can fly you anywhere. To fly to a place, number 1, the option number 1 is to fly to a place where there is no laws. Or number 2, to go to a place where there is tight law, a strict laws. Which country will you fly to? Brother and sister, which country will you fly to? Now, I mean, this is just rhetoric. Don't claim from me later. Okay, I'm just saying that if I were to provide you a private jet right now to fly to these 2 destinations, one is a country, a place where there is no laws, and another one is a place where there is a law. There is a strict law. Which country will you go? Tell me, please. Number 1 or number 2?
Number 1.
You guys don't like vacation? Or you have enough during MCO? Number 1 or number 2?
Number 1.
Anyone who say number 1? You say number 1. Why you want to go to number 1? I like it.
The humans in nature are rebellious.
Well, no. Okay, brother, I get you. Humans' nature are rebellious. I agree with you. Okay? Human nature are rebellious. Yes.
I wouldn't go there forever. I would go there maybe for...
It's okay, because you won't be there forever even.
Yeah.
Because the moment you touch down, you'll be murdered.
No, let's say that.
The moment you touch down, you'll be murdered. So you will be there forever or buried.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
You will be buried there forever. You see, when I give this example, of course, this is the example that I always use. I say, when I give you these 2 options, you will unconsciously or consciously, you will choose the second one. Why? It's not the answer is the question, why you number two?
Because we like safety.
Well, although you like freedom, human beings, we like freedom, we like not being tied to too many do and don'ts, right? But somehow, when we come to choice, making choice, we will always tend to choose a place where there is a set of rules that govern that place that you will feel safe, correct? You know what? Interestingly, although just now I say that the safest country in the world, the safest country in the world right now is Iceland for 13 years consecutive. But of course, they have a different parameters to judge that why this country is the safest. But what is interesting is the country with the lowest crime rate in the world. The two countries that have the lowest crime rate in the world. Make a guess. Make a guess. Huh? UAE is number two. Qatar is number one. Qatar is number one. UAE is number two. You know why? Any one of you have been to Qatar? Or you are from Qatar? You live there. How was the law there? Okay, what is the penalty for, red light? If let's say, red light, and you...
I think 5,000 riyals.
5,000 riyals. 5,000 riyals, you know how much? Around 6,000 riyals, around that.
It's the same.
No, it's around a bit expensive. Riyal is a bit, I just came back from Qatar. I went there for World Cup, don't get jealous. For World Cup dakwah. Okay, for World Cup dakwah. Now, 5,000 riyal. That is the first offense.
Yes.
Second offense? And you know what's going to happen to you if you were to speed over the speed limit in the hospital area, in the school area? You know what is the penalty? Make a guess. Huh? You live there, so where's the penalty? Brother, I don't know because I never commit this crime.
As far as I know, you have to pay like 600 riyals.
600 riyals? If let's say run over the red light is 5,000 riyal, this is a critical zone, hospital and school. It's 600 riyal? No. What I know of is that, because I was there for close to 3 weeks, okay, that the car will be repossessed by the authority and you will go to jail. It's very strict. And if you do anything, if you steal, okay, if you are a foreigner, you will be deported in 24 hours. And that 24 hours include what? Let me share with you. That 24 hours include, if you have any loans with any financial institutions over there, you have to pay off all the loans in 24 hours. If you can't pay, you will go to jail. And you know what? When I was in Qatar, I went there for a few times. I mean, in Malaysia, it's not safe even to put your laptop bag behind the car booth, right? In Malaysia, okay? But over there, I put it, without anything, I put it inside the car. And I said, wait, I need to put the laptop behind the car booth. And they said, no, it's okay. Hey bro, you're in Qatar, man. And then it was the first time I went to Qatar. And they told me, hey, you're in Qatar. I said, yeah, still, they're human beings. No. Don't you know that Qatar is one of the countries with the lowest crime rate during that time? I said, I don't know. They said, don't worry, nobody steal your stuff. Okay? Even you didn't lock your house, you didn't lock your car, that's fine. Nobody going to break in. Okay? It's not absolutely no crime, but the crime rate is extremely low. The tougher the law, the safer the place. And the lower the crime. When the crime is lower, you yourself will feel safer to travel to the country. Now, there is a fourth reason why society needs law. Again, I would like to add on as well. Why society needs religion? Because with religion, it will also answer the three very basic questions that every single human being, it's not every single, most of the human being, a rational human being, will have this question at least once in their lifetime. What are the three basic questions? What are the three basic questions that human beings always have? At least once in their lifetime.
What is my purpose?
Sorry?
What is my purpose?
What is your purpose? Okay. What are the remaining two questions? You guys is looking at me as if on my forehead there is a running LED, there is an answer.
Why am I here?
Why you are here? Your purpose. Okay. The two other questions.
Where did I come from?
Where do you come from? What is your purpose?
Where am I going?
Where are you going? Now, why I say that majority, if not all, of a rational person, a sound mind person, they will have this question at least once in their lifetime. The difference is, when someone have this question, do they proceed further and make effort to find out about the answer, or they just brush it off by saying, all those are not important? No, I've met people, when I ask them, where are you going after you die? You know what they answer me? The most amazing answer I ever had. They told me, well, after I die, the only I think about it. You know what I mean? They say, after I die, the only I think about it. I say, after you die, there's no thinking. There's no thinking. You see? These are the three basic fundamental questions that everybody will ask in their lifetime at least once. And religion will provide you with this answer. Religion will answer you, where are you coming from? I have a lot of interactions with a lot of non-Muslims as well. And some told me, where I'm coming from? Well, from my mother. Of course, I know from your mother, but we'll stop there. I'm a reductionist. You know reductionist? Reductionist is that I always try to answer complicated things in the easiest way, not too academic. Okay? When people say, well, from my mother, okay, just stop there. Go a bit further. Go next, until the first human being. Have you also ever heard about this argument where people say that, I just have to follow we have to follow the religion of our ancestor. Have you heard about this before?
Yes.
Okay, so I say, yeah, good. I follow the religion of my ancestor. What is the religion of my ancestor? Islam. Islam. I say the problem is you stop at 3,000 years of ancestor, but your ancestor is on only 3,000 years. There is your ancestor beyond that timeline. Okay, there is another ancestor after ancestor. Why stop there? And this is a common question that I always receive, especially coming from among non-Muslims, where they say, no, I'm following the religion of my ancestor. I say, cool. What is the religion of your ancestor? For example, they told me, the religion of my ancestor is Buddhism. I say, cool. Then allow me to ask further, with due respect. If you say to follow the religion of your ancestor means following Buddhism, with due respect, now Buddhism is around 2,800 years. 2,800 years. So what is before that? What religions before your ancestor? What is the religion that they follow before that? Why stop at 2,800 years? Why not go beyond that? The problem is, we always stop at one particular level and we don't go beyond that. And religion will provide us this answer, where are we coming from? Again, I have another question. I know you guys might get boring already. I asked too many questions. But it's because end up later, inshallah, God willing, you might forget my presence here. You might forget about my lectures. But inshallah, when coming next few days, or in the near future, when you think about something, you will remember the question that I asked you, and then immediately you will flash back and you will get the answer that I given to you guys. Okay? Brother and sister, why it is important for us to know where are we coming from? Okay, we are coming from, for example, as a Muslim, we say we are coming from Adam. So what is so important about it? Adam and Eve. Okay, not Adam and Steve. Right? Yeah. So what is so important about we coming from Adam? Why it is important? Why? Can someone give me an answer? Please.
Why is it important? Because originally focused for us? Question all the way.
Because the moment you know where you are coming from, and if you can start to recognize that you are indeed the descendant of Adam, the first human being on earth, then you will start to realize that, okay, this is my ancestor. What did my ancestor, who do my ancestor worship? Then from there, and who created this first ancestor? The recognitions of the creator that created our ancestor. That is the reason why it is important for us to know where are we coming from. A person who don't answer this question, end up, they do not know their identity. They have no root. And they will just be flying around without any purpose. They will just be like a ship in the open sea, having no purpose, having no directions, and end up, they will finish their fuel, and then they will be there forever. Where are we coming from? Now, number two, the second question is, why we are here? This also, religion will provide you. Because if a religion will tell you, if a religion will just to tell you that, well, the purpose is just to be happy. Well, what is happy? Again, what is happiness? Do you know that there's a research by a group of psychologists in which they say the dopamine that is being released upon you buy something that you want to buy, how long will it last? Brother, once you know this answer, you will understand why your mom and your sister buy a lot of hijab. Yeah. How many seconds will it last? It will last for around 5 to 6 seconds. The sensations of the feeling of wow, happiness will last only for 5 to 6 seconds. And that happiness, that's it. And then they will be like craving for another thing. Okay, what shall I buy next? That's why, shopping. You see, when you base happiness based on materialism is like a black hole. It will keep on sucking and sucking you until the day you die. That's what Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala says in Surah Takasur. Al-hakumul takasur hatta zultumul maqabir. Verily, you want more and more and more and more and more until you are in your grave. Because you will keep on chasing that thing. There is no happiness in you. If happiness is the sole purpose of life, well, we need to be happy. But the thing is, do you realize, and one of the countries that have the lowest suicide rate in this world, they might not be the happiest. But the country with the lowest suicide rate in the world are the countries that are so-called conflict countries. Like Afghanistan, like South Sudan, like Somalia. Well, how can people expect that? Because generally, people will expect that because when you are happy, then you will enjoy your life, right? But not necessarily. If you are technologically advanced, okay, and you live in a developed country, you will be more happy, not necessarily. Japan and South Korea have one of the highest suicide rate in the world. The moment you know, and this is what religion is going to answer you, where religion will provide you the answer of why you are here, what you need to do here. And these questions I will answer tomorrow, I guess, right? Tomorrow I have another lecture for the purpose of life. I will be answering this question, inshallah. So basically this is like building up to tomorrow as well. And number three is that, do we, again, sorry, are you guys getting boring by me asking a lot of questions? Because I didn't see a lot of response. Okay, brothers and sisters, last question, please, okay, last question for this question. Are we afraid of dying? Only sister afraid, brother not afraid. That's why in terms of life expectancy, the men have a lowest. Because they're not afraid to die. Are we afraid of dying? Okay, I rephrase it. Do you afraid of dying, or you are basically afraid of dying because you do not know what's going to happen after that? rephrase my question. Are you afraid of dark? No? If I ask you to go to a dark place without any torchlight, dark, extremely dark. Okay? If I ask you to go there, are you afraid?
Yeah.
Yes, no? Yes. Then I rephrase again my question. Are you afraid to go into the darkness, or you are afraid of you do not know what is exactly there in the darkness? Which one? The second one. So basically, we are not afraid of dying. For example, if I blindfold you, if I blindfold you, someone that you know, for example, okay, maybe your loved one blindfold you. Your loved one, don't come up with a funny rhetoric that says, oh, my loved one might be betraying me. No. This is really your loved one, okay? Your loved one blindfold you, okay? And then he put you into a car, she put you into a car. Now, will you be afraid? Your loved one, you know exactly he or she is the one who do it. Will you be afraid? No. But the same action being done by someone that you didn't know, and out of nowhere, they blindfold you. Will you be afraid? So are you afraid of being blindfolded, or you are being afraid being blindfolded by someone that you didn't know, that you didn't even know what they're going to do to you? Always go to the next one. Don't stop at one. Human being, we are not afraid of dying because each and every one of us, maybe you are a believer of God or not, we know the moment we die, we are born together with the capital punishment. It's just that we do not know when is the day. That's it. That's it. Nobody has ever survived, of course, with the permission of Allah, Jesus Christ. Nobody has ever survived. And everyone who are born, or come into this world, they will die one day. You believe in God or not, you will die. But the problem is, brother and sister, we are not afraid of dying. Basically, we are not afraid of dying because that is a reality that we are going to face. But what we are afraid of is, we are afraid after we die, what's going to happen? You see, the problem for people, I'm talking in general. You know, although some people say, well, I can die in peace, although I don't believe in any religion, as long as I do good. But you know what? There is a worry in them that a question mark. What is a question mark? The question mark is, how if, just how if, you know, the notions of having this thought of how if I'm not doing enough, okay, will make you afraid to die. Will make you afraid to die. But for someone who believes in religion, they are stronger. Stronger in what sense? Stronger in the sense that they know they're going to go back to their Creator, or they're going to have a better life. And this is what religion is going to provide to someone. Where are we going after we die? And for a Muslim, they believe in what the Prophet ﷺ said. Anyone who died with his last kalima, La ilaha illallah, they were definitely going to Jannah. This gives a lot of comfort in them. And before I go to my conclusions, brothers and sisters, and open up the floor to you guys. You know Richard, the Lionheart? The one who fought with Salahuddin al-Ayyubi? I'm not asking you guys to do this, but this is where I'm going to go to my conclusions. Richard, the Lionheart, he said that, how can we win this war, this battle, when we fight, okay? When we fight to keep ourselves alive and go back to our home. But this Muslim, they fight in order to die and go back to their final home. And that is their belief. And you will never win this kind of war with this kind of people. Because that convictions that they have. So, in my conclusions, remark, brothers and sisters, the society needs religion. I have answered very clearly in my talk. I give 4 reasons why society needs religions, the justification, the logical justification behind it, and so I also provide 3 reasons. The 3 reasons is that how religion is going to answer the most basic questions that you human being. And the moment you have the answer to all these questions, inshallah, the society will live in better condition, inshallah. I will not say 100% peaceful, because sometimes, as we know, human being being human being, there will be human beings who do not like to follow law. They just want to try out, to be rebellious, like our brother said just now, to rebel. So really, society needs religion because we need to maintain peace and harmony. And we know, for us as a Muslim, that we know not everybody going to become a Muslim, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded us to establish peace in this world as well. And how to establish peace is by following religion. What is following religion? By following the law that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have already sent down for us to follow. And brothers and sisters in Islam and humanity, when we talk about religion, there will be a lot of questions. And I will answer one of the questions that I posed just now. Can I be moral? I have moral without religion? Yes, no? Yes, no? Can someone be moral, having high moral value, without being religious? Yes, no?
Yes, but very rare.
Sorry?
Yes, but very rare.
Yes, but very rare. Any study to back up that? You know, I'm not asking you guys to follow me on Facebook or Instagram. No, you don't have to. Okay? There's no point. According to a research where they conducted studies on the 1,200 people, okay, those who are religious and not religious, they found that there is not much difference between people who follow religion and non-religious, okay, when it comes to morality. So can someone become moral without following religion? I would say, my answer, of course some of you might be shocked, I would say yes, they can. But let me qualify my statement and my answer. When I say yes, someone can have a high moral value despite not following any particular religion. You know why? The answer is because for us as a Muslim, we believe in what we call as fitrah. Fitrah is the innate nature, the natural inclinations. And the natural inclinations, there are some that is acquired, there are some that we are born with. So when someone have a higher moral value, yes, they acquire it, there's one thing, because human fitrah, human natural inclination, they're always looking for something which is good. They want to be good. Only the person whose their fitrah has been corrupted, they do not want something good, because being corrupted, when the heart is being with a lot of black spot, they no longer can see the light. When there's no light entering it, it is full of darkness. So they no longer can differentiate between good and bad. But even atheists can become a person that have a high moral value. Why? Because in the atheist itself, we still believe, despite he disbelief in God. But for me, generally, I don't believe there is an absolute atheist in this world. I don't believe. Atheist means someone who don't believe in God. I don't believe there is someone who call themselves as full atheist, because they cannot prove themselves to be full atheist. We're going to talk about that later part. But when I say that someone who are not following any religion, they can have a good moral value as well, because that is the fitrah that Allah has put in them. That is the fitrah. That is the natural inclinations that Allah has really put in them. Good manners. But again, that good manners can be changed, depends on the culture and the upbringing and the environment where they're being brought up to. But generally, can someone, so why do you still need religion when you can be morally right without religion? Yes, being morally right without religion doesn't mean you get the answer to the purpose of life and to define what is good and what is bad. So brothers and sisters, society truly needs religion. And my reminders to my brothers and sisters in Islam and humanity, especially to the Muslims here, is that we need to share with people about religion. And I always say, you cannot become a good Muslim if you don't share Islam with others. What do I base on? I'm based on the saying of the Prophet ﷺ. And I always told a non-Muslim, whenever I met them, I told them, do you want me to be a good Muslim or a bad Muslim? What they will answer? They will answer, of course, you need to be a good Muslim. Okay, yeah. You know, one of the criteria for me to be a good Muslim is that I have to share Islam with anyone that I know of and anyone that I do not know. Because why? Because I am a Muslim. And a Muslim is what the Prophet ﷺ defined. He defined that you will not enter paradise until you have Iman, and you do not have Iman until you love for your brothers what you love for yourself. And what do I love for myself, brother? What do you love for yourself? Ultimately, for any Muslim, you would love to go to? Nobody want to go, subhanAllah. Which Jannah? Yes, me. No, not me, but my name. You can't forget me. Jannah to Firdous. You hope to go to Jannah. Firdous. No. Jannah to Firdous. You guys cannot forget me. You will make dua. You will remember me. You hope to go to Jannah, and what the Prophet said, you will not enter paradise until you have Iman, and you will not have Iman until what? You love for your brothers what you love for yourself. We as a Muslim should not see anyone who have different faith from us as looking at them, oh, the inhabitants of hellfire. No. We should look at them. Sorry, I know there might be some non-Muslim, I don't know who you guys are, but you know, I have to say this. We are doing it out of love, not out of hatred. Why should I spend my time that I will never get back in my life? Why should I spend my time that I can spend with my families, with my loved one, and to talk to you about Islam? When I can spend time with the one that I love, when they need my attention and love as well. But why do I spend time with you? It's because I love you for the sake of Allah, that I hope for myself and I hope for you as well. To go there or not is not up to me. I have a ticket that I would like to share with you. I can give you the ticket, but either you're going to board the plane or not, it's not up to me. I cannot force you, I cannot drag you. To apply for the passport is you. You have to apply for the passport. I cannot do everything for you. To apply for the visa is you, not me. But I have this free ticket for you. And I'm spending my own time that I will never get back in my life, and I'm spending my money that I can get back. What? To scam you? There is no scammer in this world that they will scam you by spending the money, by spending time that they will never get back. And yet, after someone becomes Muslim, you are not getting money from the person that you so-called scam, but you sometimes have to give them money, zakat, to help them out. What type of scammer is this? Someone accused us of being a scammer. Oh, they scam people to become Muslim. What? Have you ever met any scammers who scam someone and yet they have to give the money to the person? No. We are not scammers. Brother and sister, you can't become a good Muslim until you love for your brothers what you love for yourself. And this is all out of love, not out of hatred. And that's why I know somebody will not like it. I call people, I learned from Sheikh Hussein, I call people not yet Muslim. I know some people will not like it. Why is so offensive you call me not yet Muslim? I say, I call you not yet Muslim because I can't be a good Muslim if I don't have the wish for you to become a Muslim. Just a not yet Muslim. I can call you a failure if you want to. Do you want me to call you a failure, or you want me to call you not yet success? You have not found the success yet. It depends on how you put the words. So brothers and sisters, religion provides comfort, religion provides security, religion provides conviction, and religion provides peace of mind. Peace of mind, and therefore, when majority of people follow their religion, then inshallah, not only in Malaysia, but I believe throughout the world, we will achieve peace, a better place. We will make this world a better place to live in. Wallahu, I pass back to the moderator for the next session, inshallah.
Jazakallah khairan, Ustadh Firdous, for the wonderful talk. Inshallah, we will move on to the next section of the event, which is a Kahoot quiz. And if you may not know, or if you don't know yet, the prize is a 30 ringgit Grab voucher. And most of us are students, so we probably need it.
Wait, the 30 ringgit voucher is only for 1 minute?
Only 1 minute.
Ajib. Miskin. No problem. I top up. Okay. The top three will receive a gift from us. Okay. The top three will receive a gift from us, inshallah. Okay.
Alright.
The number one, I will top up 20 bucks from my own pocket. So make it 50 bucks. That one is cash voucher. This one is cash. Okay. Human being psychology is that you want something right in front of your eyes, not something in the future. So you would rather to take something lesser now rather than something in the future, right? So I'm 20 bucks. Okay.
50 ringgit up for grabs for the winner of the gold quiz.
You see,
You don't want to waste it.
now you see more and more people taking out their food. Just now when you said 30 bucks voucher, with my time and my data.
But we get the same offer for tomorrow, sir.
Tomorrow will be a different offer.
Alright.
Yeah, tomorrow will be. I promise you guys. No, this is not a bait, but an encouragement for you guys to attend. Okay. I love to give gift. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ says, when you give gift, you know, you will create love between you, among the brothers and sisters. Okay. Please.
Alright, we'll give around 1 minute for everyone to start logging in to the quiz. I hope the winner wins, man. And no better not win.
Can I play?
But if you win, you can't get it. You can't get your own money, I guess.
You want me to play? Discrimination.
Okay, 10 more seconds, inshallah. And without further ado, let's start the Cuckoo quiz for today's event. Does society need religion? Question number 1. What is the meaning of Al-Khaliq? The wise one, the fashioner, the all-knowing, or the creator? Al-Khaliq means the creator. And let's look at the first top 5. And winner is not winning. Miha is winning. Next question, question number 2. What happened? Which country did Ustadh mention as one of the safest countries in the world? America, Korea, Japan, or China? And the answer is Japan. Japan is one of the safest countries in the world today. Oh, winner is winning. Who's actually winner here? Alright then.
You call yourself winner before you win. I like it.
Next question. Question number 3. Double points. What is one common characteristic of the safest countries?
Sabotage, sabotage.
Give us a second, give us a second.
You don't follow religion.
Then, next question. Or the leaderboard. Lido! And winner is not winning again. Number 4, laws set the standard of acceptable and unacceptable behaviors, answers, transmissibility, or interdependencies. Behaviors, acceptable and unacceptable behaviors. And top 3 stays with Balashti and Hakim coming to the top 5. Question number 5. How long was Iceland the safest country in the world? 10 years, 14 years, 11 years, or 13 years? 13 years. For 13 years, Iceland has been the safest country in the world. And winner is back on top. Mido has to do better. 6th question. What is the population of the Muslims according to Ustadh? 2.2 billion, 2 billion, 1.6 billion, or 1.8 billion? 1.8 billion, as Ustadh mentioned in the talk, out of 8 billion people in the world. Hakim is number 2 now, mashallah. The winner is still on top. Question number 7. Double points again. Inshallah, the screen doesn't change. Which of these was not one of the 3 basic questions mentioned during the talk? What is my purpose? Where did I come from? When am I going? Where am I going?
It's a trick question. That's why I give you double point. 2 rakah before Fajr.
And some winners still top. And Brick comes to the top 3.
Come
Mashallah.
on, Sophia. Come on, Sophia.
Question number 8. What's the topic of Ustadh Firdous lecture tomorrow? Necessity, 5 necessities govern Islam, purpose of life, the most influential person, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or none of the above. The purpose of life. Inshallah, here in the same venue, the purpose of life is the next topic. Yes, okay, actually comes back up. Second last question. What is a reductionist? He who reduces wealth from other people, he who reduces other people's dignity, he who is materialistic therefore superficial, or he who answers complicated questions in the simplest way. And it's the last answer, someone who answers complicated questions in the simplest way. Last look at the leaderboard. And winner might actually win. Last question for tonight, inshallah. What is the meaning of fitrah? Innate disposition, compositing, subject to morality, or jurisprudence? Fitrah means innate disposition. At number 3, we have Balashti. At number 2, we have Hakim. And at number 1, winner! Winner actually wins.
Good doa, inshallah.
Is Mohsen actually the winner? Loser. Please, to get your prize, please raise your hand, winner. Okay.
Who is the winner? You are the winner? You are winner. MashaAllah. You are very highly considered. Good. So, number 2, number 3?
Hakim and Balashti, please raise your hands.
Okay. So, for the sisters, for the winner, since you call yourself as a winner, so you are the winner. Other than the 50 bucks, 30 ringgit voucher and 20 ringgit cash, we will also give you a dawah t-shirt, a long sleeve for Muslimah for you, worth how much? 60 bucks, right? Okay. And for the 2 brothers, you didn't get the cash voucher, but you'll get the dawah t-shirts. Okay. You just give your size to our volunteers outside, and then they will give it to you, inshallah. Okay. So these are the 2 shirts given to you guys, inshallah.
All right, thank you, Ustadh, for the extra prizes. And moving on to the last section of today's event is the Q&A session. So for today and the rest of the Discover Islamic talks, we're only accepting questions through the pigeonhole, through the QR code. So if you have any questions, please scan the QR code and ask it through them, and we'll ask it to the Ustadh, inshallah. So Ustadh, there's a question that comes in. What are your top 3 reasons to believe in the presence of a creator?
What are my top 3 reasons? I need to correct the questions before I answer the question. Why do I need 3 reasons when 1 is enough? Give me 3 reasons why you love your wife. Why must stop at 3? I don't understand. You see, we always put the limit to the numbers. I'm so sorry. I'm that type of person that, I would love to question the question itself. Of course, okay, if you want me to give number 3 reasons, let me think about it. Number 1, I try not to believe in God. Okay, before I became Muslim, I try not to believe in God. And I could not. Okay, that's number 1. I try not to believe in God, but I could not. Because though people might say that since I'm just because I'm a Muslim right now, so therefore I say I must believe in God. No, even before become a Muslim, I struggle very hard in order not to believe in God. Because for me, it's like, if there's a God, why this, why that, Well, even before I start to involve myself in da'wah, those are the questions that I have as well. So for me, the evidence is too overwhelming for me not to believe there is no God. Number 1. Number 2, that's number 3. Number 2 is that, what are the 3 top 2 reasons? Top 3 is number 2. The second reason is that by me believing in God, okay, I know the purpose of my life. Because all this while, before become a Muslim, I do not know what is my purpose of life. Whatever that I shared with you guys just now is almost carbon copy of what I have went through throughout my life before I became a Muslim. Because when I believe in the Creator, then I know there is a Creator that created me, and He must have informed me. He must have informed me what to do in order to achieve what? To achieve the number 1 reason. To tell you the truth, actually, my fear of going to hellfire are far greater than my desire to go to Jannah. I repeat myself. My fear of being thrown into the hellfire are far greater than my desire to go to Jannah. I'm not saying that I don't want to go to Jannah. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? Or you need me to qualify my statement? The fear of going to hellfire are far greater than my desire to go to Jannah. I give you some explanations in order for you to understand. Because I don't want to leave any stone unturned and leave you guys back with a lot of questions. When someone, how many of you are married here? Sorry, most of you are students. So nobody is married? Nobody? Okay. So nobody's married? MashaAllah. Okay, so brother, you sit in front of me. You want to marry, right? Or no? Okay, when you want to marry someone that you love, right? You want to marry her because you want to live your life with her, or you are. Okay, the brother, I ask the sister. No, sister, I will ask a question that is very relevant to them. Very relevant. Sister, when you go to a sales in a shopping mall, 70%, the desire to buy the product and to own the product are greater, or the fear of losing out on the great promotions? My first or second? Well, of course, second. But you will agree with me that number one also coexist in the same time. But the second one are far greater compared to the first one. It is not so much about the desire of owning the thing, but the fear of losing out the deal. Likewise, some people, they got married to someone. Yes, of course, you need to have the desire to live with a person, then you can get married too. But the fear of losing them and not live, are far greater that you don't want to imagine that. You see? That's why you take the decision. For example, another example, why do you wake up for Fajr? The best time to sleep, the best time to dream. Why do you wake up for Fajr? Is it because of your desire of going to Jannah, or is it because of your fear of being punished and go to hellfire because you didn't perform your Fajr? Number two, right? The fear. That's why when we wake up, Subhanallah, 6:45. Right? Why the rush? No. When the desire, the motivation is about getting closer to something, you will always take it slowly and relax. Just like, when you do your sunnah prayer, when you do your obligatory prayer, the wajiban, you will feel a sense of relief after you do it, like, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. You will have like, right? But then, will you have the same feeling after you do your sunnah prayer after that? Which is not obligatory. Will you have the same feeling? Will you have like, after giving salah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, will you have like, will you have that? No, practically no. Why? Because the two motivations are different. Because when you do what is wajib, sometimes the driving factors behind it is about fear of being punished, rather than the desire of going there. Although you have the desire, but this fear overcome you. Why you go to work? Because you love money, or because you are afraid of no money? You get my point? So I think I gave three reasons, right? Put in Kahoot, what is the three reasons? No. You get my answer?
Yeah.
No? You get my answer? He's not ready. What is my third answer? My three reasons? My first reason, the third reason is I tried to not believe in God, but I couldn't because the evidence is too overwhelming. Number one. Number three. Number two is that by me believing in God, I believe there is a God. So therefore, by believing in God will make me know what is the purpose of life, because God will tell me what to do in order for me to go to Jannah, which is my number one reason. I believe in God because I want to go to Jannah. I don't want to be thrown into hellfire. Okay? That is my three top reasons. You might have a different reason, but that will be my reason. Allah.
Yeah. The most or a lot of the audience wants to know about your story of becoming a Muslim.
Okay, then I change my topic tomorrow. Purpose of life. Okay, can I answer you tomorrow? So make sure you guys come, because I'll be sharing my personal story as well. I think if we can get half of the auditorium full, then I might go a bit, the uncut version. Yeah, the uncut version. Titanic, they have a replay. 25 years anniversary. I'm not asking you guys to watch. I never watched Titanic, okay? I never. Even 1997, I never watched. But if we can get half of the auditorium full tomorrow, then inshallah, I will share with you guys the uncut version. And that will be the first time I will be sharing that, okay? So make sure you do your job. Invite your friends, drag your friends. Even they don't want to come, they can drag them even if they are on their bed and they are in their pajamas. Drag them here. Okay? So inshallah. Okay, I will answer tomorrow, because it will be a lengthy one. I will promise, okay? If I forgot, please remind me.
Inshallah, sir.
Call me bro.
The next one is not really a question, it's rather a statement. I agree society needs religion. However, not necessarily has to be Islam. Society can have Christianity, Buddhism, or Hinduism. Hence, I don't agree when you say non-Muslim is not yet success.
Okay, I didn't say that not yet Muslim are not yet success. I can qualify that. I'm not trying to justify it. I'm saying that in terms of my choice of words, okay, like for example, some people they fail in the exam. What I meant is, I'm giving an example. If someone failed in the exam, of course, I didn't say it clearly that I'm referring to exam. I just give an example. If someone failed in the exam, we can say that person failed in the exam, right? True? But we also can say he has not yet succeeded in exam. Maybe in the future, someone failed in their, a pursuit of a driving license. They failed in exam. We can say you failed. But well, we can say he has not yet successful in obtaining his license. To be more optimistic. Right? So, of course, with due respect to our friends who are Muslim and not Muslim, when I say not yet success, if I say not yet success, of course, I didn't refer to that notions, but if I were to say not yet Muslim, not success yet, I can also justify that. My justification is, according to Islamic belief, in Surah Al-Azab, chapter number 33, verse number 71, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَن يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ فَقَدْ فَازَ فَوْزًا عَظِيمًا. Verily, those who obey Allah and His Messenger are the ones who will obtain great success. Okay? So great success in the sense that, according to the tafsir, is about going to Jannah. So, with due respect, I have to share the truth. It might hurt the feeling, but from the Islamic point of view, someone who has not become a Muslim, they might be successful in this world, in that perspective. But through the yardstick and the perspective of Islam, that person might seem to be successful in this world, and this is the only thing they will have for their entire life, and there is nothing left for them in afterlife, which is eternal. So they have not yet success for the hereafter, for the afterlife. So that is what I meant. So thank you so much for the statement. I appreciate it. Thank you.
There's a question, sort of related to the previous statement. Society needs religion, but why Islam?
Why Islam? Again, that will be another lecture itself. But if you ask me why Islam, again, I'm a student of comparative religion. When I say I'm a student of comparative religion, I'm not expert, I'm still learning, I'm still studying, and I stand to be corrected. Please correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Why Islam? It's difficult to give the answer in just a few minutes, but given the time, now, let's begin. Why Islam? Because every religion, for me, this is a yardstick. In order to talk about religion, you must talk about God. Because by definition, religion is something that you believe in God. You believe in a higher power that deserves to be worshipped. Now, when you talk about God, now, again, I'm talking about based on Islamic definition. If I were to tell you guys, this mineral water bottle, this is power bank. What will you guys say? What will you guys say if I say this is a power bank? Can anyone disagree with me? This is a power bank. Yes? No? Why not? Why not? Huh?
It's a water.
No, how do you know this is a water bottle? Who tell you? You see, the problem is, this is my notions, okay? This is my notion. Why Islam? Because Islam, when it comes to the most fundamental, to build a tall building, one of the most important is the foundations of it. And the foundations of any religion should be God. If the concept of God is not clear, I cannot worship something that is not clear. I cannot worship something that do not deserve to be worshipped. You see, if I were to say this is a power bank, you guys will disagree. Now for me, if I want to talk about God, what is God? Can anyone just claim they are God, or this is God, that is God, that is God, just because somebody called as God? No. Can you guys accept me as the President of the United States just because I call myself as one? No, we are not like in the US, where you can be anything that you want, the woke culture. When I'm a black, I'm a white skin. No, you can't. I'm a girl because I think I am a girl who are trapped into a man body. No, It's not like that. Facts don't care about your feeling. That is the thing. So when I talk about this, when I talk about God, I need to find why Islam is that, because the definitions of God in Islam, for me, you can disagree, no problem, is the clearest and the easiest to understand. And logical. And throughout my dawah experience, majority of people who have problem with Islam is not because they have problem with the concept of God. Most of the time, I seldom or almost none, I receive questions about the concept of God in Islam. They will only question the laws in Islam. They will only question the law in Islam. And the problem is not the laws in Islam. The problem is they do not believe in the lawmakers that review the laws itself. So for me, the Qul Huwallahu Ahad said God is one and only. Uniquely one. You just cannot imagine there is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, one means one. And this is uniquely one. Allah who so much. Allah is eternal. Allah is all sustaining. He's Al-Ghani. So Allah is eternal. There is no beginning, there is no ending. The question of what is God doing before doesn't exist in the dictionary of defining God. Because there is a before and after for God. Because time itself is a creation of God. Time itself is a creation of God. So for me, Allah Samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad. Neither is begotten or he begot a son, no, or daughter, no. Because that's just ungodly for me. And Allah also talk about himself, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ, where there is nothing like unto Allah. When I say nothing like unto Allah, something interesting that when I say why Islam, for me, I used to challenge myself. If anyone can provide explanations of God easier, simplest, and more logical than this being given in Surah Al-Ikhlas, I don't mind to consider. But as far as I know, no, I couldn't find one. When this fundamental has been established, then I really believe in the lawmaker itself. When I really believe in the lawmakers, and one of the name of Allah is Al-Haq, the truth. So when the Al-Haq, the truth, the one who possess the truth, are the one who reveal the Quran, then for me, whatever that are being mentioned in the Quran are the truth. And since in the Quran, in Surah Al-Azab chapter 33 verse number 21, this the same God says, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. Verily in this person, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there is a best of example for you to follow. Then, by me believing in the Quran, following what is in the Quran, and following the best of example that this Al-Haq have already revealed to me, then for me, Islam is the ultimate one. And I say, and I open for corrections. This is what I say. Okay, you don't worry. I will be responsible for what I say, but I will not be responsible for how you understand. I say, this is my challenge. Anyone who have a questions towards Islam, anyone who have a problem towards Islam, okay, make sure the same problem that they think exists in Islam must not exist in their belief system as well. The same problem should not exist or even greater in their belief system. Because I don't want to go into further controversy, because tomorrow we still want to give talk. We should create controversy tomorrow, not today. If people were to say that the Quran has some problem, this and that, we are not sure because there are Sahaba who say, of course I can answer this. There are Sahaba who say the Quran, there's only another Sahaba say the Quran has 16 surah, so therefore the Quran cannot be trusted. We can answer this, no problem at all. If the person brought to me this argument, then I will ask them back. How about the scriptures? Do you know who write it down? Now you can't even tell me who write it down, and you're questioning this. You have a bigger problem. if you believe in God, people who are being oppressed, you say Islam are the truth. Why don't Allah help the Palestinian, help the Rohingya, help the Uyghur? Now, if the person also believes in any sort of religion, I will ask them. Now, you also believe in God. Now, what did your God do to your own people who are suffering as well? That question itself should be posed to you as well. So for me, when I say why Islam, because in Islam, I have the most easiest and most logical explanations about the concept of God. And when this makes sense, then He deserves my worship. And when I say deserve to be worshipped, meaning deserve for me to obey and follow Him. Hope, of course, it is not comprehensive enough, but with the time given, that's what I can answer. But tomorrow we will have more time, inshallah.
No, sir.
Bro. You call me Ustadh again tomorrow, I'm not coming. Remind him, when you see his mouth, bro.
The next question, bro.
Fast learner.
How will non-Muslims believe that their ancestors were Muslims that came from Nabi Adam alayhi salam?
Can you repeat it again?
How will non-Muslims believe that their ancestors were Muslims that came from Nabi Adam alayhi salam?
Belief is something that you cannot force upon anyone. Belief is something that you cannot force upon anyone. That's why in Quran, there's a lot of verses encouraging human beings, anybody who identify themselves as human, to why don't you think afala taqilun, afala tazakkarun? Why do you think? Why do you ponder? Why do you comprehend? Meaning, in order for a not yet Muslim to believe Adam a Muslim, okay, Adam a Muslim and he's created by Allah, what I request is my humble request. My humble request is, if you can spend years and years or more than 10 years for you to be here in Nottingham University, you must have went through all your tertiary education before. If you can spend 10, 15 years to study for your need in this world, my humble request is, it's not about giving me a chance, but my humble request is, I will always request them, why don't you evaluate? I give you a book, you evaluate, you read the book, you try to understand it, and you always ask God to guide you, to help you out. I can prove to you, but the thing is, the problem in da'wah, I'm also doing da'wah, the problem in approach of da'wah is that sometimes we always like to use the word, let me prove to you, right? True? Have you heard about that? Let me prove to you. You know what's the problem? The problem is, when we say let me prove to you, you are using what kind of yardstick as a proof? Because each and everyone, they are in their own world. They have their own perspective. The evidence that you think are evidence for you might not be evidence for the person. You get my point? So when we say proof to you, well, it might be a proof to you, but it might not be a proof to them. So for me, I will not try to prove anything to them. I will just try to encourage them to come to this formula of thinking, to this kind of perspective, to this kind of formula, and to see why it makes sense. We have to go to the probability. Will there be any probability? Well, yes. They cannot be definitely saying, no, Brother Firdous, I do not believe at all that Adam alayhi salam, Adam is the first creation, the first human being. Well, in order for him to deny absolutely, he needs to have a clear evidence to deny the evidence absolutely. You get my point? Am I being too complicated here? No? Only you say no. But the rest, they cannot. So first, I will go through the flow. Yeah, I will go through the flow. The flow is for him to agree that there is a probability that Adam is the first human being. Could there be a probability? Now, we go through the process, what we call as the thought process. There is a probability. When we say there is a probability he is the first human being, there is also a probability that he is not. So let us examine in terms of the evidence that both of us can agree upon as evidence. You get what I mean? You get what I mean so far? Okay? To examine. So when we go through that process, then the probability will increase or decrease. It depends on what we agree upon. But inshallah, I would say inshallah, God willing, if the evidence that we can agree upon, if we follow through, the probability of there might be or might not be will increase to become almost certainty. To become certainty. There is a way of showing it in a simple way. Because again, being reductionist, not everyone understands science deeply. So when we try to use science, sometimes the terms of science we don't even understand. Just because we are just parroting. Some other people say it, some other people wrote in a book, so therefore we just memorize and we just say it out. But it doesn't make sense to other people who don't understand it. So for me, there is a thought process to prove and to share with a non-Muslim about how Adam can be the first human being, and eventually he is a Muslim, and then eventually he also should believe in the God that created Adam alayhi salam. That is a thought process. We call it as the funnel of dawah. The funnel of dawah. If let's say marketing, anyone of you study marketing here? Do you have marketing course here in Nottingham? No? Okay. In online marketing, they call it as long tail as well. They call it as a funnel of sales as well. There are so many things. Okay, but this is part of the technique that I share with people, that how can you prove some certain thing, or how can you share certain thing, and always try to avoid using the word proof. Let me prove to you, because people generally they don't like to be proven wrong. By you proving you're right, you're proving they're wrong. No, proving that we can share with them that both of us can be correct. Correct in the sense that agree on the same evidence and the same principle. Then we can talk about it. All over.
Thank you, Brother Firdous. That will be the last question we take due to time restrictions. So, barakallahu fikum, everyone. May Allah bless you.
No question.
Yeah, okay, no more questions. Barakallahu fikum, everyone. May Allah bless you all. Just to announce, tomorrow we have Brother Firdous again for the topic, the purpose of life, at the same venue, but earlier, inshallah, at 8:15 p.m. inshallah. So thank you everyone for joining. Jazakumullah khairan. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. One last announcement is that there are snacks outside of the hall, so please do help yourselves with some free food. See you tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Half of the hall tomorrow, inshallah.
Tomorrow.